Right, and welcome to Jamie's Football Chat, Part 2. And this time it's going to be a fan battle against my good friend Danny Oliver.
Good evening.
Thank you for joining us.
You're very welcome.
And what we are going to do is pick our greatest 11s for Arsenal and Manchester United for me for our lifetime. So since we've been born and when we've been watching football, we'll pick our greatest 11 from each club, and then we'll then do a combined and see how we get on from there. We are currently outside at the moment, so it's a bit chilly, so we might have to put the coat on later. It is cold. But yeah, we'll run with that. So cheers for coming down.
Very welcome, very welcome. Looking forward to this.
Yep.
It's going to be good fun.
Right, so Danny, let's pick goalkeepers first.
Straight in.
Yeah.
Go on, after you.
So my goalkeeper first is Peter Schmeichel, because I just think he's, the great Dane. He was part of that great 99 treble winning team, and he was such a leader in the dressing room, great shot stopper, made unbelievable saves. The presence that I think the guy had that people don't seem to forget, he's so present in the goal. If strikers are going towards him, he just sort of
made himself massive,
didn't he? Like, that's what sort of Casper a bit reminds you of a bit now, doesn't he? Obviously not as good, but he's a good goal.
Absolutely.
So I just had to pick him, really.
I don't think there's any other choice. I mean, De Gea's
great
goalkeeper.
De Gea, I think for me, for 8-9 years has been great, and he had like a 4 or 5 year period when he's probably maybe the world's best.
Yeah.
But I just think that for me, if he maybe won more Premier Leagues in the era that De Gea was in, then probably De Gea. But I think Schmeichel for me has to go for the amount of stuff we won in that time, and maybe De Gea was in that team then.
Obvious choice, mate. Definitely.
What about you?
Again, I think for me it's probably a pretty obvious choice, really. David Seaman. Good shot stopper again. Mr. Reliable. Good distribution. Probably fitting into that old school mode of shot stopper. It wasn't so much of a sort of distribution game, was it?
No.
Back then it was more, shot stopper and just get it long
and get it long, rather than now they do all that stuff with Pickford, which is always like trying to pass it out, and that's what the Hay mistake at the weekend was, because of just taking too long on the ball, just kick it out.
Absolutely.
Typical Sunday League football.
Your keeper any keeper that anyone's going for now, you look at Kepa at Chelsea's been a bit unfortunate in my view, but Ederson, going back to sort of Manuel Neuer was like the sort of flagship bearer for it, wasn't he? Playing it out from the back. They're all these keepers now have got 2 good feet, haven't they? Yeah. They're trying to play it out for their wing backs. They're playing 50-60 yard passes.
That's why Guardiola didn't pick Joe Hart, did he? Because he didn't think he could have that in his game.
Absolutely, completely agree. Seaman will always be remembered for a couple of howlers. 2002 World Cup and the UEFA Cup final when Naeem from the halfway line, as the song goes, late in extra time. Fantastic goalkeeper and as good as we've had, I think.
Yeah,
personally. Yeah,
I think 2 great goalkeepers we picked there.
Yeah, great choice.
So next choice would be right backs. So the right back I've picked is Gary Neville. So I just think he's United legend, United through and through, Mr. Reliable, and he'd always be great on the right hand side with Beckham in front of him. He'd get right down the flanks, always work hard, cross the ball really well, and sometimes maybe underrated what people remember. He was actually a really good defender. And back in the team that we had in '99, he was a stalwart for that, and his career ended a bit early with injuries, but great leader for the club, and will always be remembered. Yeah,
definitely. I think good distribution going forward as well. That sort of coming into the modern sort of game, overlapping Beckham, and he could stick a decent ball in.
He could. His crossing was. People seem to forget that sort of side, but he was a good defender. But his crossing was whipped that ball in, and I think I've seen a couple of testimonial matches over the years, and he's still got it.
I can imagine.
He obviously lost his pace. But
Yeah, definitely. Really good relationship with Beckham down that right-hand side.
Yeah, brilliant,
as well,
especially when we made it for England and that as well.
As you said, Mr. Man United and hates Liverpool.
He hates Liverpool, which always helps any Man United fan. And then he was against Stretford End, he did his big badge celebration, never forget that. That's brilliant.
Absolutely loves it. For me, bit of a curveball I suppose, and probably coming a bit more modern, Patrice Evra. Now he ended up going to City like a lot of Arsenal players seem to do, unfortunately. But athletic, good going forward. Few vital goals for Arsenal. He was always a danger in the box. I think similar to probably some other defenders that I've noticed that we've got on our list, really, I don't remember him having a bad game.
No,
just
he was reliable. Yeah,
he was solid.
And obviously City brought him, and he's obviously a good player. And he did well there. So
absolutely. I think you sometimes find that defenders obviously have to be good defenders, but you've got to have something going forward, and also the athleticism to be able to get forward and get back.
Yeah.
And there's a few that are great at doing one and not so good at doing the other.
But he had
and
both.
Actually, he had both in his locker, and I think that's why.
It's more sort of towards the last sort of 10 years or so. He obviously had some good right backs over the years, Dixon and that as well.
Absolutely, he could have got in there now. Patrice Evra. Unpopular opinion, Arsenal fans.
So remember, see, this is going to be going on YouTube. I have created a Twitter channel, and it's Jamies_FC. So if people want to comment on there and say their opinion on some of the maybe players that we picked or haven't picked, then by all means get your comments in, and I'll have a look at those.
Be good to have some feedback. Absolutely.
So right, my two centre backs now, and I have picked two legends. I could obviously, we've had Stan, Ronnie Johnson, Steve Bruce, Pallister, some absolute legends as well, and some great defenders, proper old school centre backs. But for me, I've gone with the pairing, and I've gone with Rio Ferdinand and Nemanja Vidic. I think that Vidic is that sort of like old school defender, typical Serbian sort of thing at the back. You wouldn't get past him, absolute rock. And also Rio Ferdinand, which I think he was that more sort of, back in the day when he sort of came on the scene, it was sort of unheard of a centre back to come out with the ball sort of thing. And I just think the way that he sort of not many people sort of ever got past him as well. He had a great head on him. He'd get a few headed goals and some important goals over the years. Which is always important, and not many people get past him. And I just think the partnership pairing of them both really complemented each other, and that helped us create a lot of clean sheets. And the team that we had in 08 with them two at the back was formidable, really. And Nemanja Vidic, and Ferdinand were great captains as well.
Great pairing. I can't think of a better centre half pairing that United had individually. I think possibly better players, but together,
absolutely right. And the sort of the telepathy that they had with each other,
absolutely. They had a great
really good understanding.
Yeah, really good understanding. For me, relatively old school, Tony Adams. I don't think you can pick an Arsenal best 11 without sticking Mr. Arsenal. Loves a beer, absolutely loves a beer. Toast a little one to Tony Adams. Loves a beer, loves to gamble. Two sins, never mind. We're all guilty of them. But yeah, he was just a footballer. He loved Arsenal Football Club. Solid, no-nonsense defender of the old school generation. I wouldn't be able to pick an 11 without sticking Tony Adams in there. And alongside him, Sol Campbell. I know he played for Tottenham first, but I'm not favouring people tonight, am I? I'm not making any friends tonight. I'm not making any friends.
Spurs fans will be commenting.
Yeah, never mind. We don't mind upsetting Spurs fans. No. Sol Campbell's just again a really solid defender. We got him on a free as well. I mean, what a
yeah. Look, you look at that.
What a move that is. In the modern day.
He got a lot of stick though, didn't he?
Oh, he got serious about it. You expect that though. You make
a move from that.
You make a move like that. You expect to get Tevez going from United to City, similar sort of scenario. You're always going to get a stick, aren't you?
It's like Barcelona, Real Madrid with Figo, and it was the pigs that were chucking on.
Yeah, they were. Unbelievable. Yeah, unbelievable. Two no-nonsense defenders. Sol Campbell probably had a bit more about him going forward, a bit more technical. Both solid though. I would love to see a pairing like that at our football club. I don't think I've seen a pairing that solid at our football club for 10, 15 years. They're a bit
Staffy.
they're just a little bit nice, aren't they? In terms of defenders, I like my defenders a bit more nasty.
Like we've got Vidic and Campbell, no nonsense defenders.
They'd leave a foot on you. They'd let you know first 5 minutes that you weren't going to get an easy game.
That's it.
Yeah, I think we've got a couple of centre halves now. No matter what centre half pairing we pick, that are just going to give you a little tickle maybe. And,
that's all, isn't it?
You're not going to get kicked around all over.
That's why a lot of times, sometimes Arsenal, towards the end of the season, have capitulated because they've not had enough leaders
I completely agree
good,
with that.
defenders at the back to let teams come
Massively lacking a leader. So Adams and Campbell for me as centre half.
Okay, so to complete the back four, I have picked Patrice Evra. So I think that he, I could have maybe picked Dennis Irwin, who's an absolute legend at Man United, and a great footballer he was. But I've gone for Evra, maybe a little bit controversial but I just think that for the sort of that 08 period till sort of 2013, he was an absolute stalwart and great defender. And if his first game, his debut, he was appalling, got hauled off at half time and whatever. But he's only a little guy, but he could jump up really high, and he's a strong defender, great at tackling.
Like a
scored some
modern day Dennis
modern
Law.
day Dennis. Yeah.
Law was like
Yeah.
tiny, but I mean, he had a spring on him.
Yeah, he did.
Unbelievable spring.
And obviously he had a good cross on him as well, and he was a great leader in the dressing room, which obviously you could tell. Look at this team now; he's full of leaders, and look at him on Instagram. Patrice Evra, he just makes me laugh.
Like Luis Suarez.
Love this game.
Love Luis Suarez.
Oh yeah, he hated him. Yeah, the handshake moments.
Yeah,
never forget
brilliant.
that. But well done,
Great
Pat.
player. Yeah,
Great
again,
player.
just a boss, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Boss. No nonsense.
No
No
nonsense.
messing. Absolutely. Yeah, great footballer. I like Irwin. I think he was an unbelievable footballer. And again, another player that I can't think.
Could have. I
having
was
a
so
bad
close to
game.
picking him in,
Yeah.
but then the thing was that the time when you had two great left backs in the Premier League, Ashley Cole and Evra.
Yeah.
The best left backs in the world. So you couldn't really go much wrong with them.
You know I'm laughing, didn't you?
Why?
Because he's not in my team.
You haven't got Ashley Cole?
I've not put Ashley Cole in.
no.
And I promise it's no bitterness that he went to Chelsea. Maybe a little. But,
I'm shocked at that, folks.
Cashley Cole doesn't get in my team. Cashley Cole misses out. I've gone really modern. I think Saka.
No way.
Saka at Arsenal at the moment. I'm telling you now, he's unreal. What a footballer that kid is. He's been brilliant. He's only probably playing.
How old is he? Like 18 or something?
He's only young, 18, 19. What a footballer. What a footballer. I remember his debut at United.
Yeah, he did play
At
well.
United
He
earlier
did
this
play
season,
well,
set
yeah.
up the goal, didn't
Yeah.
look out of place.
Looks confident.
He's played a lot of games this year. He's been brilliant.
Well,
Absolutely
it seems like both our clubs now are going for the younger
Yeah.
philosophy, which
I like
again
that.
is working. I think I looked at stats yesterday or the day before
Yeah.
that I think most English players in Premier League team at the moment is Manchester United. I think like 13, and I think Arsenal high up the list as well.
I think you've got a similar position with, is it Williams?
Williams as
Brandon
well. He's
Williams,
great.
good footballer.
He's pushed on Luke Shaw
Yeah.
because he's had his sort of trial and tribulations.
I think you need that
but
competition,
You need that
don't you?
competition,
You
and
need that
Williams looks
competition.
no fear, old-fashioned sentiment.
Yeah.
The sort of like old school left back, and looks great.
Saka's probably not everybody's choice, but I've seen a lot of him this year. I've seen a lot of the under-23 games. Youngberg.
I'd have picked Lauren in there, to be fair.
Lauren's again another
Right.
big choice. Great footballer, Mr. Reliable, can play midfield as well.
Yeah.
I just think, I'm telling you, in the next year, people are going to see how good this kid is.
Yeah.
I mean, he's good already.
He ended up going to Barcelona.
He probably will. Do you know what I mean? Yeah, he probably will. If we don't improve, he definitely
Well,
will.
you heard it here first,
Yeah,
folks.
Saka, serious player to look forward to in the next 18 months. He's been good already, but yeah, he gets in my team. I think he's fantastic footballer.
Yeah, I think that's good. Good shouts there.
Cool.
So, back five is now picked. So, on to the one of the most important things of the team, the midfield.
Yeah.
So, as it's a 4-4-2, let's go right wing first. So, my pick is David Beckham. Just had to pick Becks in there, Mr. Golden Balls, because the crossing ability of this lad is some of the best I've ever seen. He played in a testimonial game earlier this year, and he's still got the ping on him. It's unbelievable. And the free kicks he used to take, important goals.
Goal against Greece.
Goal against
The one that
Greece.
sticks
Never
out,
forget
isn't it?
that.
Yeah.
And remember that goal against Wimbledon for United as well. That old school one,
Oh, yeah.
miles out.
Yeah, yeah. Just-
What a great goal that was.
Yeah.
But end of the day, absolute great right midfielder, sort of old school one really. When he always go down the byline, cut in, cross. So many assists, great at corners. And what an England legend as well.
Underrated.
He was.
Underrated.
I always think.
Massively
And then
underrated.
later in his career, he played centre midfield for Real Madrid
Yeah.
in sort of like the hole, and he did it
Yeah.
for Milan. And I thought he was still good there, and even for England because he could just spray the ball around.
Yeah, they all thought he was
Very-
just this pretty boy, and he got
Yeah,
this
he
image he was
was.
more interested in.
Yeah.
I suppose similar to sort of like a modern day Jesse Lingard.
Yeah, it is.
More about his image and
His image, yeah.
and whatnot.
But Lingard doesn't do it on the pitch. No,
No,
right?
he doesn't.
Beckham,
Beckham
he's-
did. I
Beckham did,
completely
and he,
agree. Yeah.
he great
seriously good
midfielder.
footballer. He
Had to
got-
get him
yeah,
in there.
Absolutely, 100%.
Really gone full.
Freddie Ljungberg,
Ooh.
gotta be in there. Always scored
Yeah.
against United.
Yeah, he
Loved
did,
the
to be
goal
fair.
against
And
United.
he always played well against us, to be honest.
Just a great footballer, really good. He could do everything. He could go back. He was good defensively. Great going forward. Just solid. A bit of flair about him. He has something about
He was a great player.
big game.
Big game player as well.
Always
Yeah.
scored in big games. Always
Did he
showed up
play
in
for
big games.
Barcelona? Did he?
No, he didn't. I'm sure he didn't go to Barca. He was at Arsenal for a long
He
time.
was on Arsenal. And he's on the coaching staff now. It's
Long
coaching
time. He's
staff
still
now,
there.
isn't he?
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm thinking of Henrik Larsson.
Oh, of course you will. Yeah, of course you will. No, great footballer. I couldn't leave him out. Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Just great going forward. He just had everything. brilliant, really good footballer.
So the next one now is the two central midfielders. Mine literally just picked for themselves.
Oh, I bet they do. We're going to enjoy this one, aren't we?
Easy. Easy pickings for these boys. I've picked Paul Scholes and Roy Keane. And I think Paul Scholes is one of the most gifted midfielders I've ever seen in my life. I just think he's absolutely unbelievable player. And you see these quotes now, don't you, from like Zidane, Xavi and all these players. It's like, so they wish they would have had Scholes at their club. They say he's that good. Which, if you're hearing it off those legends, then you know he was that good,
absolutely.
and the passing ability that he had, he'd have a bit of fire and tackling him as well. He's sometimes a bit, quite a bit, sometimes a bit late.
Yeah.
But again, what a player! And box to box, sort of over the years, he sort of went a bit deeper. And then he'd have his spray can, and his passing ability then was, was great. But and you can show how good he was. We went bad for a couple of months or so, and then he came back after retirement because we needed him so bad.
Yeah.
So what a player! And Roy Keane. The battles he had against your boy Vieira were some of the best I've ever seen to watch, and
that's proper football.
And that programme, I think it's on ITV when there was a debate against them both, and it was so good to watch. And Roy Keane, he's just such a leader. He started off as sort of box to box sort of players, didn't he, sort of thing. Then he sat then deeper, and he was just a kingpin sort of thing.
He adapted his game well.
Adapted his game well.
Yeah, he did.
And he was just a great leader, and probably the Man Utd greatest ever captain.
Yeah.
And them two together were, the forefront of that 99 team.
Can't disagree with that.
And to be honest, one of the greatest performances as well was that one against Juventus when, he had the booking to miss the final, and he just played probably the best game he played for us.
Got him back in it, and they went on to win it, didn't they?
They went on to win it,
yeah. Absolutely.
So, what a legend.
Yeah. Two very different type of footballers. Obviously, Keane's mate Vieira got in there.
Yeah, I know. If you're an Arsenal fan, you have to pick Vieira, to be honest.
Vieira.
Great player.
Yeah. Nasty.
Yeah.
You think
Gets
about,
stuck in. He's tall as well.
Gerrard had a nasty streak in it. You think about the best English midfielder we've had. Gerrard.
Scholes.
Lamps had a kick in him as well. He loved to leave a boot in. Scholesy, Keane, Beckham, all these players. And I like that. that.
Yeah.
I think we've gone to
too nice now.
Everybody's nice now. They're shaking hands all the time.
I
don't mind it before the game, but when you're on the pitch
after
and you're in it,
you have to just try. Like all these players we picked, proper leaders, and that's why that these teams won a lot of things. And at that particular time when we were younger, Arsenal and United were just clubs that were just full of leaders and great players.
Yeah, absolutely. When I was younger and a bit fitter, if I used to get kicked, I used to take it as a compliment. They thought I was half decent.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that it's probably the same for the professional footballers.
Because they want to try and get you because you're good and you're crisp.
Absolutely, and you knew you could wind the other one up as well.
Yeah.
Vieira did it to Keane with Rooney before the game, didn't he?
Yes, he did. And then I remember the stuff with Vieira and Gary Neville in the tunnel on the greatest moments. That was on Sky Sports.
Absolutely,
and
brilliant.
And you saw Keane in the tunnel, and he was absolutely ready to go for it.
Vieira had an eye for goal as well, didn't he?
Had
an eye for goal, scored some good long range strikes. Always used to leave a foot in. Good distributor, used to drive the team forward. You always used to feel like you need that guy when things aren't quite going your way. Could just pick the team up by the scruff of the neck and just get them going. And he was that man for us. He could do it.
You have missed him, certainly.
Yeah, massively. We haven't. You look at now. We haven't really replaced that sort of player. We haven't got that sort of player at Arsenal anymore. And the other one, Cesc Fabregas. Probably one of the best footballers to grace the Premier League.
Look at the Spain team as well. He was,
I think similar sort of mould to a Scholesy, really. Very quick and whatnot going forward and quite dynamic, and then adapted his game a little bit before he went to Barca, and then obviously on to Chelsea for a couple of years.
I think you look at those two players, it's the same as what the sort of Man United fans are now saying about Bruno Fernandes, that when he gets the ball, he's like looking straight away where to pass it to, and they were like, I used to call Scholes a sat-nav, and he'd always be looking for the ball, and Fabregas is the same. You could always see them looking for where they need to pass it next, and that means they're so intelligent players, and there isn't too many of them around, really.
It's like chess matches, isn't it? They're thinking 3 or 4 moves ahead of everybody else.
Yeah, exactly,
they just read the game so well. It doesn't matter whether it's going 5 yards or 50 yards, it's going to feet every time. They'd always find a man, very seldom give the ball away. Got to go in. Similar to you, 2 obvious choices for me.
Just he played for Chelsea after.
He'd been a few years, and I think he was very loyal to Arsenal. He could have gone to Barca 2 or 3 years
and he
before,
kept stopping,
and he kept staying, and then eventually, similar to Suarez actually at Liverpool. He could have gone a couple of years prior, and they said to him, give us a couple of good seasons.
And then I think Ronaldo as well for us gave us 1 or 2 years more after as well, and you respect that as well. And when they leave and go to say Barcelona, his boy club,
when you come through, when you come through a youth system, and that, when you come from a youth system and you've grown up a team and they show loyalty to you, which you've got to put, you've got to respect that. And I think you get two types of players, don't you? You get somebody who gets told that and sulks for a year,
Yeah.
and doesn't get many games.
Then
And
the
goes,
fans wonder then,
Yeah.
you know, like what's going on here, and they just get brassed off.
Yeah,
You know.
completely agree. Completely agree.
So the next one now will be left wing, and I'm now going to pick Ryan Giggs because I had to pick Giggsy.
Not just because of the semi-final goal in the FA Cup, hopefully.
Yeah, and it's come up on here about the low battery. So Ryan Giggs, one of the greatest left backs around, and just for the long left midfield,
Left wing. I knew what you meant.
You know what I mean. But yeah, Ryan Giggs, absolute United legend, and you know, over the years he sort of changed his game as well. He'd get more into the centre, deeper, and his skill that the guy had. You'd even look at him now, if he was back when he first come on the scene, he was so skillful. And that goal against you boys, which is obviously I had to mention because it's one of my greatest moments I remember as a fan watching it. It was unbelievable. Sure, come off going mad, but like, what a goal! It's beat so many players.
Chest wing on the lad to be
fair.
fair.
Crazy. Yeah, he had a lot of air there. But yeah, what an unbelievable player, and to play like nearly over 900 games for the club, winning so many medals. I think scored nearly every single Premier League season.
Great footballer.
Absolute brilliant footballer.
Yeah,
what a guy.
Robert Pires.
Great player, to be
What
fair.
a footballer!
He's
again.
always run there like he's running on nails.
He looked like he got no pace, but
Yeah.
he burn past people.
He did.
I think typical sort of French, that sort of quite elegant
Yeah.
footballer.
He was like a Janela.
He just used to glide, didn't he? He'd glide across. Again, very great modern footballer. Doesn't have two good feet. Pires played left wing, but he got a great right peg as well. So many footballers now so wrong-footed.
They are.
To myself, you know,
Rather than because he was both feet, wasn't he, as well?
Yeah, I remember him scoring a goal against Villa. He got took over his shoulder, flicked it over Boateng, I think, with his left foot, and then lost Schmeichel when he was at Villa with his right. He was great with both feet. Absolutely great with both feet. Up and down the pitch, proper winger. Didn't mind sitting in and letting left back go past him. Yeah, he just did a great job for the team. He scored some good goals for us. He was just, again, very reliable. Great touch, great going forward, equally as good defensively. Yeah, obvious choice again for me.
Great player, and he's a great player in that good France team as well.
He was, yeah.
Not sure what's going on there. So I agree with that. He was a good, great player. So I think now let's go and pick our forwards. Now mine, it's took me a sort of good while to get these down to two because we have had some great forwards over the years. What we are going to do is just finish off our greatest exercise for each team, and then we'll stop the video, and then we're going to pick another team combined of United players and Arsenal, and that'll be on a separate video to upload shortly.
Could take a while, that one.
Could take a while, that one, yeah. So, I've picked Rue van Nistelrooy first.
Fox in the box.
I thought one of the best out and out forwards I've ever seen. He's just a striker that you're going to get right by the goal line. As soon as you get towards in the box, you can be, he'll be there and he'll get your goals poaching.
Yeah,
I think he got 150 goals in 150 games, and ridiculous before he went. And ultimate goal scorer. And I just couldn't leave him out because of the amount of goals he scored in a short period of time. Even if that particular time when he was there, he didn't maybe get as much success. He won a few Premier Leagues compared to, obviously, didn't win Champions League there, but what a player and leader as well. And then I picked the United legend, probably my favourite player, which would be Wayne Rooney. I just had to pick him because he's United's leading goal scorer, captain as well towards the end of his career there, and he scored some unbelievable goals. I'll never forget the one against City, which is an absolutely great goal to see. That was when I saw it, I just could not believe it. And the goals early doors against Newcastle, I think it was. And he just rocketed it outside the box.
Instinct of that City goal. People forget, that ball didn't just come straight in. It got a deflection.
Yeah, it got a deflection.
He had to adjust
his body to move it, and then bicycle kick it.
One of the best goals ever scored in the Premier League for me.
Yeah, do you think so?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Unbelievable goal, and to do it in the derby as well made it that much more sweeter. And I just think the amount of goals he scored, and he was there for over 10 years, United's leading goal scorer. And he had so many special moments at the club and scored important goals, and he'd always get you each season 20-30 goals every single season without fail.
Consistent.
United leader. I just had to pick him. Obviously, we've had other players like Andy Cole, Dwight York, Teddy Sheringham, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. You know, could have picked him, and it wouldn't have been that much travesty picking them. But the one of them we struggled to leave out was Eric Cantona. I just think one of the best players the Premier League's seen. But I just had to pick Nistelrooy over him just because of the goals. But it is hard. I think just because if I'd gone for all round, then Cantona, but Nistelrooy just for goals.
Fair play.
Yes, that's
cool.
That's me done.
All done. What a 1 to 11 that is as well.
Oh no, you look at that.
1 to 11
you look at that. You just like.
Yeah.
Can't even see that much.
Yeah,
really,
it's a seriously good team.
It's a great team of Peter Schmeichel, Gary Neville, Rio Ferdinand, Man Utd, Patrice Evra, David Beckham, Paul Scholes, Roy Keane, Ryan Giggs, Rooney, and Rue Van Nistelrooy. What a lineup that is.
Very good.
So what about you? Your two forwards.
Top two again for me pick themselves. I think Dennis Bergkamp's probably one of the best players to ever play in the Premier League. Forget this guy never flew anywhere.
Yeah, he didn't
play away. Didn't play away games in Europe where you couldn't get there by a boat. Yeah. What a footballer! Just could do things with the ball that you just wouldn't even dream were possible.
I think two of those goals he scored as well.
The Newcastle,
the
Leicester
God,
one,
wow.
Leicester one where he took his left. The World Cup goal against Argentina
World Cup goal
as well.
Holland.
Volley.
Wow.
Yeah.
I think one of my friends, Rich, he's his favourite player, and what a player he was.
Yeah, he could just do things with the ball that he just didn't think were possible. You know, people talk about even still now. Ian Wright. I mean, Ian Wright was probably the reason I started supporting Arsenal. Growing up, didn't support a football team, loved football, played from a very young age. 93 Cup final, my old man, big United fan, ironically.
Oh, really?
Come on, Dan, you've got to support a football team. You can't play football and not support a team.
Yeah.
Arsenal were playing Sheffield Wednesday, 93 Cup final, playing in the League Cup and the FA Cup final.
Same year.
55th minute or something.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you what, Dad, you're winding me up trying to tell me to pick a team. Whoever wins this game, I'll support them, and I'll never support another team for the rest of my life.
And then you stuck with them ever since?
Sheffield Wednesday were 1-up.
Yeah.
Andy Linegan equalised in the 93rd minute. And then they won it on a replay. Otherwise, I'd have been a Sheffield Wednesday fan.
It wasn't one of those.
That would have been a difficult one
you
to have to
put it
pick.
there, Danny.
Yeah, I think we did. Dennis Bergkamp was just fantastic. Brilliant footballer. I think one of the best players to ever play in the Premier League, and I don't think many would disagree with that.
No, I wouldn't. I just think he was, absolutely great centre forward.
And then the
unbelievable skill.
Oh yeah, fantastic, absolutely fantastic. Just unpredictable. Didn't know what he was going to do with it.
No.
Got a range of passing, scored a lot of goals.
Yeah.
Great touch. I think a Scholes, like how good his touch was, he'd never give it away, but you could fire a pass into him and he would kill it.
And he'd always kill it dead
every
and then
time.
spin on it.
Bergkamp was the same. Again, both footed again as well. Both footed. And the other one, again, is obvious choice. And although I'll tell you that Bergkamp's probably, I think, one of the best players to play in the Premier League, my favourite player of all time, despite me saying that I supported Arsenal through liking Ian Wright, Thierry Henry.
What a player he was.
Footballer.
He's one player I wish we'd have signed.
What a footballer. This guy started as a left winger.
Left winger
At Monaco under Wenger.
Yeah.
Wenger came to Arsenal, changed the brand of football, which I think the Premier League started to take note of, and other teams started to sort of follow.
That's true.
And probably paved the way for the way that football is played nowadays in the Premier League. Very attacking, very modern. You think about the best team in the Premier League now. It's wing backs, isn't it?
Yeah.
Athletic wing backs that have got a pass in.
They've got a pass in. You can also play like three at the back now and let the wing backs go forward and just let them cross the ball for the strikers. Henry was just unbelievable.
I could pick countless of times where he's over on that left wing play. I think you see strikers now and they get played out of position. I think about Aubameyang, and he's a great footballer.
Unbelievable.
But he doesn't like being played out of position.
No,
he doesn't throw his toys out the pram, but you can tell he's not feeling it. He don't want to do that work on the wing. I think the amount of times that Henry is pinging it down that left wing, just dropping inside and then firing it top bin. He used to look, and it used to look like it was predictable. And you think, why aren't players just twicking onto this? He was quick. He was just electric.
He was.
And
he was so skillful as well, and he scored big goals. And he was your leading goal scorer, so you had to pick him really.
And he stayed at Arsenal for a long time. He could have gone a lot longer before he went to Barca.
That great front three.
What a footballer! I remember the goal. Sorry, mate. Goal he scored where he flicked it over his shoulder.
Fabian Barthez.
Lobbed it over Barthez. But he was just brilliant. It's just flair, that French flair. Just a great footballer. He dragged us. He got us into Europe 3 or 4 seasons on the spin when we weren't really good enough, to be honest.
No.
But he managed to keep us in the Champions League, which
imagine if you had Henry and Van Nistelrooy in the team together.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you'd struggle to leave Rooney out, you
No,
know. But I think
But
in terms of goals, pure goals,
they'll just literally just get you goals no matter what.
Absolutely. So that's my 1 to 11. Again, my writing's probably not as neat as Jamie, but I'll read them out to you. So Seaman in goal, Patrice Evra right back, Tony Adams and Sol Campbell centre half, Saka at left back. Watch out for him next 18 months. Serious
Did it
player.
here first.
Did it here first.
Jamie's
Freddie Youngberg on the right, Fabregas and Vieira in the middle, Perez out on the left, and Bergkamp and Henry up top.
It'll definitely be a close game against these two.
Seriously good team. Yes, good team. Cool.
So thanks for that, Danny. There's some, two great footballing teams there. So what we'll do, we'll call it a day for this one, and then we'll then do our combined exercise of both teams. So thanks everyone for watching.
Could be a while we deliberate over that.
Yeah. So see you shortly. Thank you.